us a more technical explanation, even if you don't think we'll understand it, give us a chance. Actually, how it is that you detach your ship from another location and move it here.
All right. No. The idea is that everything in the physical universe is made of light. The craft focus this light and form a relationship, a synchronization with an idea for which the craft has been designed that allows there to be the passage of this light through the amplification structure that we call a flash matrix. This will be composed after passing through the idea of the collection crystal, which is more or less a magnesium carbon matrix, which is formed out of the idea of what you call cold fusion. This amplification passes into the flash matrix, which contains the idea of gold, and extracts from the idea you call the gold a certain other kind of energy that you have not yet discovered within this metal upon your planet. This energy is what is called an etheric identification format. And in this way, it allows there to be a translation of the light into the type of energy required for the systems, the metallurgical systems, to be able to absorb. In the magnesium, what you call copper matrix, there will be the creation of a spinning motion within the primary fusion rod or disk, depending upon the model you are using. And in this way, this spinning motion will exemplify the vortex energy that represents the active principle in light, and will be taking advantage of certain motions that are observable in what you call electron spin. Therefore, it will radiate this energy into a field around itself, which the fibers that are embedded in the hull will be able to pick up and begin to channel through themselves, much in the same way that you understand light is, so to speak, channeled through what you call a fiber optic. And in this way will create another type of identification. This identification field, this etheric idea, this astral idea, will actually be a plugging into the material that you have previously considered to be and disregarded from your equations, what you previously called the ether. In this way, this etheric energy will then create, or I'll say reinforce, the idea of the physical ship, but the physical ship will now shift its properties to the etheric ship concept by allowing the phase, if you will, of its physical molecules to be, in a sense, succeeded by the etheric concept of molecules, and in this way to become a blended state in what we call a quasi-planar reality. When existing in this quasi-planar reality, this quasi-energy matter state, then the ship is, so to speak, for all intents and purposes, unlocked from any particular solid, fixed reality. Now, the concept of the ship itself is an amplification, so to speak, of our consciousness and what you would refer to as a so-called computer, which in and of itself is, so to speak, self-aware, and is only a symbolic embodiment of our own higher self, will utilize its now ability over the etheric craft, which now has dominion over the physical idea of the craft, and it will call to itself its recognition of the all that is that it is. And in this way, this means simply that it is now finding itself directly perceiving what your scientists have called the interconnectedness on a quantum level. It will recognize the holographic nature of the universe, that is, the potential for any object to exist equal at every point in the universe. It will understand the holographic nature of itself and will simply recognize its potential to exist anywhere. with regard to the idea of the locational matrix, the XYZ factor that we described before, plus the time factor, of any particular vibration that we wish to identify with. It will then simply be a matter of synchronizing with that vibrational signature that represents that particular reality that it perceives, and then allowing there to be a reversal of the process so that it reintroduces itself back to physiological form, and then the craft simply finds itself reflecting the signature vibration of whatever location and physical universe it identified with while unlocked from any particular physical universe. Then it will seem to have, as you say, hyper-jumped from one place to another without actually having traveled the intervening space. You see, to us, what your spacecraft are doing is, so to speak, sliding around on the surface of space, rather than simply becoming the idea of space-time and simply re-identifying yourself. Now, there can be more opportunity to further explain some of the technicalities, but as of this time, we perceive it will, in your terms, take many hours, which we will be willing to do bit by bit in other conversations, rather than, in your terms, monopolize the entire conversation with regard to this particular subject. Will this suffice for now? Give you something, as you say, to chew on. Now, recognize that the elements primarily will be what you, I'll say, call magnesium, are used in the hull formation, but in a crystalline way that you have not yet allowed yourself to create upon your planet. It will not be magnesium exactly as you know it, but only one version of that idea. Right now, your scientists, when they look at the idea you call magnesium, are very, in a sense, indiscriminatory, and there are many versions of that idea within the overall concept you are calling magnesium. What we use is a refinement of one version or variation of what you may call, in a sense, an isotope of that idea, and allow it to form. When we build the idea of the craft, we create a template idea in a non-physical sense and allow the energy, homogeneous energy field of the universe to mimic that shape and idea, and then allow the crystalline structure of the physiological molecule to grow on that shape. And that is why, once they are given a template shape, you will find that no matter how thin the material is overlaid, it will not be able in physiological terms to be bent as long as the non-physical matrix defines the curve that it has originally been set in. You follow me?